Charlie's one of the rare and unique individuals in this space who actually, I think, jokingly, I've talked about this before, hides how much more woke he actually is.
Yeah, I had a feeling it was going to be a pretty poisonous topic where the only winning move is not to play in regards to covering the H3 versus idubbbz lawsuit. But sometimes you put your hand on the stove to see if it's still hot. And boy howdy is it ever. Like I've always said, I treat this channel like a diary. I just blabber about things that I feel like talking on, just sitting in my chair, kicking my little 5'6" petite leggies around and just giving my thoughts from the old steel trap up here on it. And one topic I've always covered is creator lawsuits. So when I heard about the H3 versus idubbbz defamation case, I wanted to take a peek into it, sink my teeth in there and see.
Can we get a skip? No, why? Dude, what the fuck is wrong with you guys, man? For months, you demanded large content creators to fucking cover Ethan Klein's frivolous litigation. Now you got a fucking major content creator actually covering Ethan Klein's frivolous litigation, and now you're like, I don't like it! Stop! Skip now! And it's not just about idubbbz either. There are a shit ton of people that are being harmed by this and have been harmed by this. It's moving beyond like regular drama slop. I'm conflicted on this because while I did not think that the initial video the initial video did not land with like it did not certainly lend support. I'm sitting here listening to Iran news and Charlie's talking about me. Is this new? Chat help. Ian watches these. I don't. No, this is the second video. He did the first video. I didn't think he gave a fair shake to the situation. I chalked it up to him not being super in tune with what's going on. Okay. I even said if Moist knew the extent of the harassment campaigns conducted by Ethan Klein against Ian and Anissa, that he would have a different attitude on it. Or if he knew about the actual timeline of events in terms of like when Ethan started attacking content creators and how he started attacking content creators, that he would probably have a different attitude. Or even if he knew more about the harassment campaigns altogether. H3 crew is tired. The H3 podcast crew is now openly questioning why Ethan Klein is legal smoke for idubbbz but not for Destiny. I mean, that's the main question, right? Because the reality of the matter is, it's incredibly stupid for Ethan Klein to launch a defamation lawsuit against idubbbz for idubbbz literally putting the defamatory statement on his stream and saying he disagrees with it. It doesn't make any fucking sense. More proof? Yeah. Ethan, when he finds out his dad was also a pedophile from August 24th, Destiny was just joking, Ethan said. Right? Oh, fuck, I see this runs in the family. Oh, God, I'm sorry, bro. Bro's dad, the one who's married and fucked a 16-year-old and birthed Ethan, the guy who makes so many pedo jokes, is a Reddit account dedicated to them. Out here literally liking thirst traps of his. August 28th, 2025. So Destiny has defamed Ethan and claimed Ethan was a pedophile or implied Ethan was a pedophile on numerous occasions. idubbbz never has. As a matter of fact, the only thing idubbbz has done is to point to the defamatory statements and say, these are serious allegations that Destiny has made, and Ethan should probably pursue some kind of litigation or some kind of investigation. Meanwhile, the main question that everybody has for this predicament now is, one, why the fuck are you suing so many goddamn people? And two, if you're going to sue so many goddamn people, why aren't you suing the actual party that slandered you and not a third party that doesn't even agree with the slander? What is this? It appears that Ethan is hoping to extract an admission of guilt from the victims of his frivolous lawsuits so they'll be more likely to survive a motion to dismiss / judgment on the pleadings. Here's more proof to this guy. This is directly from Destiny and Dan. Yes. Dan Saltman, try to destroy someone's life and career. It should be expected that they grind you in the dirt in every way they can. I don't care if H3's idubbbz lawsuit is petty or revenge-driven, says Dan Stalkman. This is Ethan Klein's major sponsor at this point, RedactDev, the owner of RedactDev, the podcast co-host, and basically lieutenant of Destiny. He's like a 60-year-old real estate developer, landlord guy who spends every waking moment online, attacking people for the crime of criticizing Israel and attacking people for the even larger crime of criticizing Destiny.
What's going on, because that is a pretty wild thing to learn about. And learn about it I did like a little scholar. It was a new lawsuit. It was only public knowledge for like 24 hours, so I did as much research on it as I could and watched the idubbbz stream that started, that is like the main catalyst of it. I watched the H3 stream where he explains his lawsuit, and I talked to both parties, idubbbz and Ethan, to try and get the clearest, most complete picture of everything going on here. And then I just gave you my view on it from the old Floridian homunculus eyes. And I think I've always made it abundantly clear, you're always welcome to disagree with me. I've always kept that door wide open because I actually value differences of opinion. I hate echo chambers. I spit on that constantly. I actively shut down the idea that you have to agree with everything I say or else I hate you. You're tacky and I hate you. Throughout all my content, from the womb to the tomb, I have always welcomed discussion and people having a difference of opinion because, as I've always said, I think when you surround yourself with sycophants and you only lock yourself into one way of viewing things, you do yourself a disservice. I think it is a bad thing to just be constantly locked in a bubble. Now, the reason I mention that is because I made the mistake, I committed the old sin of taking a peek at what the discussion was around this video on like Reddit and Twitter, which something I haven't done in quite a few moons now. I was expecting like actual discussion because I'm new to this topic and I wanted to see, okay, well, what are some things that I didn't know about? What can I learn about here and dive deeper on? And there was some very valid critiques and some information that I could get my hands on and learn more about. But boy, howdy, there was a lot of hoopla that I couldn't have even imagined would be like a controversial thing. And there were people that were proudly stating they didn't watch the video and then getting angry at things they assumed I might have said in it, or attacking me for things that I never said that aren't in the video because they didn't watch it, or they're replying to someone who's just actually making shit up that they're pulling out of their ass that I never said. So it just feels fucking useless to even engage in the topic in that case. Like, it's so odd. Like, one that I didn't expect was just me mentioning that I'm not online as much as I used to be was apparently like a highly debated topic.
The guy whose entire career is front-running whatever's going viral is saying that he doesn't know what's going on the internet. All right. I mean, obviously, we got to take his word for it, right? Let's see what videos he's been making. Lego. Watch Mojo got even more pathetic. Degenerate cringe. Lego vigilantes. Lego scandal keeps getting messy. But responds to the Lego scandal. Lego scandal is getting extremely dangerous and scary. Cringe officer embarrasses himself. Lego scandal keeps getting crazier.
The gist of it is, when I was talking about the defamation lawsuit, I also mentioned that Ethan has other active lawsuits against other creators, and I called him the Nintendo of YouTubers because he's become extremely litigious. But I didn't dive into those other lawsuits because I didn't know much about them. And that claim is apparently extremely hard to believe because everyone thinks and assumes that I am terminally online like I used to be 2 or 3 years ago. But when I said that's not the case, there are quite a few people that just don't believe me. Unfathomable moment, so it must be a lie. So here's a streamer debunking by going through my channel and noticing I've posted a lot of videos on Lego, for example, because of the big Lego scandal, which I think is a very interesting example to use off the point he's making about me front-running every viral story. Because with the Reckless Bin versus Bricks and Minifigs Lego scandal, I actually was getting called out for avoiding that and ignoring it because I was late to covering it. Reckless Bin dropped part 1 on May 21st, and I heard about it from Stream Chat, and then a friend sent it to me as well, and I made my video covering it on May 26th, 5 days later. But in that interim, people were saying I was avoiding the topic. I just find it fascinating how if I cover something quickly or extensively, like in the case of the Lego scandal, that's a problem. I'm just front-running shit to capitalize off the virality of it. But if I am late to covering something, well, that means that I was avoiding it and I must have known about it the whole time and had ulterior motives to avoid the topic out of cowardice, and I only talk about it when pressed. Feels like a lose-lose. If I'm too quick to something or too interested in something, so I make a lot of content on it, well, then I'm just there to front run it and capitalize off it being popular. But if I'm too slow to it, well, it means I was actually avoiding it the whole time, and when I do cover it, well, it's only because people pressured me. So where's the Goldilocks zone? I can't be too quick to something or too interested in it, because that's frowned upon, but I also can't be too slow to it or not cover it at all, because then that must mean that I knew about it the whole time. I'm damn near omniscient, I guess. I see everything, and thus, if I am slow to it or don't talk about it, then there was an ulterior motive and a deeper reason that's nefarious. So where is the Goldilocks zone? I personally don't see why it's so hard to believe that, considering in a lot of the stories I cover, they have already been covered by others like Dolan Darkest, for example. Slop Live has beaten me to like every topic for the last year, basically. And the way I find out about a lot of the things I cover is through, like I said, friends sending it to me, or when I do stream, which isn't daily. I'm a semi-retired streamer, but when I do stream...
Look, I think we got to be tactical here. And tactically speaking, if we're being super fucking straightforward about this, you got to think about the utility. The utility of assuming that Moist Critikal is perfectly knowledgeable about the lawsuits. Whether that's the case or not doesn't matter. Okay? He was always knowledgeable about the lawsuits, and he was like personally not saying things about it. I don't know if there's a lot of utility in bringing that to the forefront rather than being like, hey, this video was great. And there's a lot more information out there. You know, if you take a look at it, I think you would have a different perspective. You know what I mean? Because I do think that it sided perhaps or gave far too much charitability to the party that is engaging in frivolous litigation. But I think it's, you know, it's better to just be like, hey, I'm not going to immediately assume that you're being cynical here and trying to maintain like a centrist position against a lot of content creators that are considered. What? Hasan, why are you trying to kill more Pegasus? And I say this as someone who has been on the receiving end of Moist Critikal's commentary that I found to be not so nuanced, right? I mean, he very quickly did the Kaya Gate video. He's one of the first to do the Kaya Gate video, and I'm still saying that. I mean, Ethan Klein is a menace. Ethan Klein is not only a menace about frivolous litigation, he has a lot of money and he's wasting it in an effort to destroy his enemies, right? In an effort to bury them under costly paperwork. That's number one. Number two, Ethan Klein has done everything that he claims is being done to him and far worse to numerous content creators. He is vicious. He's ruthless. He's a bully. He never shies away from bullying content creators. He does it all the time. He does it like a sport, and his community certainly revels in that. His community loves it. They participate in the fun of it all. So what he claims is snark subreddits or whatever. His community is a snark subreddit. What is this? Just listen to the
YouTube.
first statement here. Yeah, you could take the camera. I think Ethan Klein's like false DMCA attitude is one that Moist Critikal is not fond of. Just listen to the first sentence here. If you had this much smoke for a DMCA takedown, should ruin your reputation forever. Then people were fair to ask where the smoke was for an actual lawsuit trying to restrict fair use. Now he doesn't know. Does he still agree with that? No, I don't think he does. And I do think that he's being nicer to Ethan Klein than he should be. I think he's being, in an effort to maintain a fair position while simultaneously not siding too much with unfavorable parties. Because let's be real, in the spaces that Moist Critikal occupies, in the spaces that we all occupy, we are the minority position. In the real world, we're not the minority position. But on the internet, the drama and the slop tuber adjacent spaces, we are not the norm. Our worldview is actively undermined. Our worldview is actively under attack. If you turn around and if you're a prominent content creator like idubbbz was, who, you know, prominently said the N-word, right? And defended being able to say it under the auspices of you know, being a defender of free speech, and was like that edgy content creator who was such an influential content creator for so many people when they were growing up, and who then turned around and made the egregious mistake of taking ownership over his past and saying that that does not represent who he is now. I mean, that was a major turning point for a lot of fucking people. A lot of people in that sphere despise him permanently. Okay? They hate him. And they will forever hate him to a degree that I do not understand. Okay? I don't understand it. It comes across as very strange to me. You know, he went woke, and that was a big problem for a lot of people. But let's be real. A lot of people in this sphere, even if they have a difference in opinion on things like that, will sometimes keep that close to their chest, because this space is about not disrupting certain powerful forces. This space is all about, you know, having decent relationships with some of its larger actors. And if you are in any way, shape, or form a warrior for quote unquote woke, you are going to draw tremendous enmity, and you are going to draw tremendous anger and resentment. Why the fuck is this? God damn it, this is so shit. Okay. You are going to draw tremendous angst, tremendous animosity, tremendous enmity from the people who want to keep this space as right-wing as possible, under the guise of being being quote-unquote apolitical. So many people who are apolitical or present themselves as centrists are not actually apolitical or centrist. They do have an objectively right-wing stance. They just don't say it out loud. Okay? And I do think that that reflects on who, not just Charlie, but who everyone else hears from as well. I see this as baby steps moving in the right direction. Perhaps I'm too optimistic, but even the brief coverage afforded to it, while many might consider too little too late, is a step in the right direction, that things are actually shifting. The reason why I say this is because for the last 3 years, there wasn't a real peep from not only Charlie, but the overwhelming majority of the commentary YouTube community was actively in support of Ethan's lawsuits, regardless of the fact that they were very obviously frivolous on its face. Okay? They were. It wasn't different 3 years ago. The only difference was, back then, it also tied back to Israel-Palestine, an issue that many people were too afraid to touch with a 10-foot pole. Okay? Why is he making this video then? Because I think there is an attitude shift that's taking place. So I try to see the silver lining here, and the attitude shift is that maybe due to how unfavorably Ethan is being seen by many others, maybe this lawsuit being seen as a bridge too far, there are people who are, for the first time ever, actively coming out and being critical of Ethan Klein's behavior. They should have been a long time ago, but they are now. So if they're even remotely starting that process, remotely starting that conversation, I'm happy for it. Okay?
There's an unwritten rule that when violated, it ruins your image forever. It causes irreparable damage to your reputation, and there's really not much you can ever do to get back in the good graces of the platform. That is abusing the copyright takedown system.
Yeah, I mean, he's right. It is an unwritten rule, except Ethan tried to rewrite that rule. And he's done it.
With you.
He's not only done that, the problem here is, guys, okay? The problem here is a multifaceted problem, okay? Whether we like to admit it or not, even if amongst the normie sphere, okay? Amongst the normie sphere, politics is very different than the internet, specifically YouTube commentary. There are many different pockets of very woke places online. You know, you got TikTok. There's a woke slant there, maybe even hyper woke at times. But a lot of the commentary sphere get their notes from Twitter and Reddit. And unfortunately, Reddit is very malleable and easy to brigade. And Twitter is a neo-Nazi shithole. This reflects the output of the commentary sphere altogether. Okay? So the commentary sphere has found itself in this like weird, edgy centrist to right-wing attitude on a lot of issues. And therefore, people like myself are persona non grata. I am literally the #1 op of virtually every drama tuber. Virtually every content creator on the commentary sphere has presented me as literally the worst fucking person. Okay? They talk about me more than they talk about Donald Trump, for example. They talk about me more than they talk about the far-right figures, for example. Or even if they do talk about far-right figures, what do they always say? Oh, you know, this guy Asmongold, he fucked up. Rarely ever do they criticize Asmongold, but when they do, they'll say, well, Hasan and Asmongold are two sides of the same coin. Now, for adults with a functioning brain, they know that that's fucking ridiculous, right? It's totally ridiculous. This is what I studied. This is what I went to college for. This is what I do professionally. And not only do I do this professionally, but I also, you know, am literally about to go and talk to 2 congressional candidates, right? At the same time. So there is no parity there. There is no equivalence there. Not even a moral equivalence, no political equivalence whatsoever. But from the perspective of even the most woke adjacent commentary content creators, they do look for a parity there. The reason for why is because the attitude in this sphere is unbelievably slanted to the fucking far right. And some of these people are aware of it, and they are right-wing in their political attitudes, and they're just simply hiding that. But many others don't even realize it, because from their worldview, from their understanding of politics, it just revolves around fucking drama. Okay? And that's it. That's it. Charlie's one of the rare, unique individuals who's in this space, right? Charlie's one of the rare and unique individuals in this space who actually, I think, jokingly, I've talked about this before, hides how much more woke he actually is. He's the very rare guy who's kind of more leftist than he actually lets on, as opposed to the number of content creators in this sphere that are actually super right-wing, and they hide that they're super right-wing, and they say they're apolitical. And the only reason why I point to that, and it's not the same with like his coverage on idubbbz, obviously, or his even coverage on me, or coverage on Pokimane, or whatever. But like when it comes to actual political issues, he has stuck his neck out in an unbelievably hostile space to even defend trans rights, for example, right? I don't know why this fucking camera is getting worse and worse as time goes on. Okay, we're gonna move on, but I mean, we're gonna move into the IRL portion of this, but I will continue the coverage in the car. Okay, I'm gonna continue the coverage in the car right over there, but this is I'll keep playing this video for the time being.
Stream chat putting things on my radar, and naturally, what people are probably going to be sending are the popular things because that's what they've seen. So that's usually what I get sent. But it's not all the time either. Like on his stream as he was scrolling around talking about how it's only like, you know, the big popular stuff, he passed multiple things that weren't. Like that video about not enough people think about this. That's about sand. It's literally just about sand and sand-related crimes like the Sand Mafia. And he also even called out another one about ranking every item on Panda Express's menu. He used that to like belittle me about like, you know, it's not good is the thing he was insinuating there. But it's not like a viral story. It's not like Panda Express is a huge topic you got to strike while the iron's hot. My channel has always just been things that I'm interested in at the time. And yeah, there are a lot of stories I get sent that I do find interesting and do yap about, like the Lego scandal. But I really do miss a lot more these days than I did when I was very online all the time, like 2 or 3 years ago. I don't know like how else to prove it to you. I mean, I guess like you can look at my Twitter page and see that I have 2 tweets in like the last 2 years.
Yeah, I don't think he fucks with Twitter as much any longer. I think he just gets I believe him when he says he gets his notes from his audience, and he gets his notes from like Reddit every now and then, or other content creators that reach out to him and stuff. I do believe that. Are you familiar with the history of Turkmenistan, takeover of communists and Islamists? Bet you somehow have deference for this too. Oh, I'm gonna get mad about a country that I suspect you have deference for. What's next, man? Micronesia? You're gonna bring up what my attitude is about, what you suspect my attitude is about Latvia? It's just so fucking weird, bro. You are so naive. A bunch of Denims reacts to a clip of Ethan Klein saying this is all started because I was not down with Hamas.
Civilians.
Your Honor.
Because this all started because I was not down with Hamas killing a bunch of civilians.
Your Honor, I had to sue all these people because everyone hated that I was not okay with innocent civilians dying. Hamas literally did this to me. She's a vile fucking human being, Your Honor. She's a vile human being.
I thought that was a bad thing. And that's what started the entire, chasm between me and Hasan and the whole community.
What the fuck? Like, yeah, which is why I started suing every content creator around Hasan that I suspect has been friendly with Hasan at any point. Yeah, this is
this
H3 crew is tired. H3 Proc is now openly questioning why Ethan Klein is legal smoke for idubbbz but none for Destiny. Is Ethan starting to lose support of his own crew
smoke?
At this point?
I don't know. Does this count as smoke for Destiny? So again, he's just
This is why
He unwittingly got sucked into the snark we're talking about because our fans are chill. It's all these like
That's crazy. Waiting for.
snarking communities who are colluding all over social media everywhere to put forward these narratives. And I have no way to fight. I have no way to fight this tidal wave of bullshit. And someone who's reasonable and thoughtful like Charlie is like unwittingly
First of all, his community is not fucking chill. They've literally like harassed the CEO of Twitch. While he was calling me and everyone that was pro-Palestine a fucking Hamas terrorist, I had the Teddy Fresh rug behind my back, and I literally was oblivious to what he was saying and kept repeatedly defending him, which was a massive mistake in my opinion. I recognize that now, right? But he was a incredibly shitty person to so many people. Yeah, it's just classic fucking Darvo. He's just denying, deflecting, and saying and projecting and saying that his opposition is doing the things that he's doing. Meanwhile, what's funny is Redact Dev is right there. This is Dan Saltman, who is a serial doxer, serial harasser, serial cyber stalker's own company that is a sponsor of Ethan Klein. Okay? That's the reason why he won't fucking sue Destiny for this clear-cut instance of defamation. That's why he has to cope and say, oh, it's actually because he was just joking.
repeating the stuff. Like saying I have no smoke for Destiny is crazy.
I think he means no legal smoke.
Why would I?
Well,
why
we
would I
don't.
sue
We don't
him
have a
for what?
legal claim to sue
I'm
him.
just saying.
What do you mean you don't have a legal claim to sue him? He's the one who made the defamatory statement.
I think that's what he's referring to.
But what legal smoke? Why would I sue him? Why would I be
Because
suing
he
him?
made. Okay, that's
even his employees are like, because he made this statement, Ethan. Because he made the statement. He made the fucking
which is
statement.
what I thought.
I mean, something needs to happen that would qualify.
Wait.
With Destiny, it didn't happen.
But everyone
it's
else-
not like what Ian did.
What did Ian do? Yeah, I mean, this is literally him saying, yeah, this is Destiny saying, Ethan Klein, Destiny, who's the pedo VA? I can't play it because they use pedo voice actors when talking about the I assume that cat eugenics game or whatever. Destiny, quick daily reminder, Ethan for 8 years is likely a pedophile who's molested his own children. Like, these are statements. These are the defamatory statements that Destiny made. idubbbz not make these statements.
Point of like, how come he's not suing Destiny, but he's suing Ian?
It's a snark.
That's a snark talking point.
Oh my God. My thing about Charlie reacting to this, there's 3 years of backstory he's not aware of, so he takes the CPS skull claims from Ethan seriously. Yeah. It's just, it's totally fucking ridiculous. Anyway, we're gonna move on right now. I'm gonna keep playing this, but I'll see you on the
Instagram,
other
I
side,
make, like,
and
a
I'll continue watching this in the car ride over there.
Post every month and a half, and a lot of them are just me hanging out with my farm animals. Like, you can check my streaming history and see that I'm not an active streamer. Like, I'm an active streamer, but I'm not streaming with the same frequency I used to, and I'm not putting in really long hours aside from when I did Destiny 2, Salvation's Edge Blind recently, which was fucking exciting. But I don't really know how else to say it. I just don't see everything that happens online, and I can't believe that's something that's apparently like a big issue or so unbelievable. Like, in fact, it's embarrassing for me that people can't imagine that I'm not online all the time.
All the lazy ass fucking thumbnails. Also, he has the Asmongoldie outfit where he only wears a dirty white t-shirt in every fucking thumbnail. God, every single video is like, guys, he's gotta stay offline to make his Panda Express tier list.
Well, now you've gone way too far. How fucking dare you? I have been wearing white t-shirts, not dirty white t-shirts, by the way, pristine Jim Mint white t-shirts since high school, since Asmongold was in diapers. It's like me saying that you have a Moist Critikal hair and beard combo. But anyway, now let's talk about the other lawsuits here, because that was a big point that people were very upset with, that I didn't extensively cover those as well when talking about the defamation lawsuit. And since I didn't do so and people didn't believe that it was because I didn't know about it, they are accusing me of knowingly avoiding it or even silently championing for those lawsuits, which I find befuddling because throughout my entire time on YouTube, the 18 or 19 years on YouTube, I think I have made it beyond crystal clear how much I dislike this litigious approach to online discourse. And really just this excessive use of the legal system for strong arming or silencing. Like, I have made, I don't know how many videos covering cases even outside of like the internet scope of like, you know, sometimes the legal toilet paper flying back and forth, but like just in general, like the willy-nilly lawsuits that fly around from like corporations attempting to bully people too. Like, I don't know why anyone would think for a second that I would be avoiding talking about that or agreeing with it. Why would I? I never have in the past, so why would I start now? You just don't like me, which is totally fine. I get it. Not everyone likes the old Florida peach, but you're just viewing it in bad faith and making that assumption, and it's incorrect. Because the truth is, and this shouldn't come as a shock to anyone, after learning more about those other lawsuits that Ethan is engaged in, like the fair use lawsuits and such, guess what? I don't agree with those either. Now, obviously, I don't know all the nitty-gritty around every single lawsuit. I've only just begun learning about all of these, but from everything I've seen from the lawsuits that he has actively going on, there's nothing in there that makes me think that this is like the right way of doing things, or that this is different from other times in the past where creators have sued each other over disputes. Now, clearly, I don't know all the nuance and intricacies of fair use law. Ethan would certainly know that better than I, and many others would. So maybe he has some strong cases here, and in one of the instances with one of these streamers, it did seem like they were just uninterrupted playing the video without even an attempt to transform it. So maybe that could be like a easy fair use win for Ethan. But I just don't think that's a win overall. Like, for as long as I've been on the internet, that kind of behavior has been frowned upon. And I really think if the targets were different, if it wasn't streamers that a lot of people don't like, the response would be very different to these lawsuits. Right now, a lot of people celebrate them because they just hate the people that Ethan is suing. So they go yeehaw for it. But these individuals, like the streamers in particular for fair use, they are a fraction of the size of Ethan. So it's to me, a hard case to make that he was genuinely like losing eyeballs because of them streaming it on their Twitch channel. And yeah, that is like a big asshole thing for them to do, but let's be real, it's not hurting you, it's just you don't like them. And they don't like you. So this was a way of being able to get a big jab in there. The internet, that kind of behavior has been frowned upon. And I really think if the targets were different that he has actively going on, there's nothing in there that makes me think that this is like the right way of doing things, or that this is different from other times in the past where creators have sued each other over disputes. Now, clearly, I don't know all the nuance and intricacies of fair use law. Ethan would certainly know that better than I, and many others would. So maybe he has some strong cases here, and in one of the instances with one of these streamers, it did seem like they were just uninterrupted playing the video without even an attempt to transform it. So,
does Moist know that Ethan specifically went to specifically got his YouTube video basically patented and then openly admitted that he was laying a trap for content creators to watch, including myself? Because I don't know if that's like, is it effing? Oh no, signal hold, stutter, IRL pause, left this video, it's fixed. Oh, okay, there was an audio glitch. Okay, so again, I don't know if he would know if he did actual research, but he refuses to. Yeah, I don't think he knows that that like Ethan openly admitted that he was trying to lay a trap for specific content creators that he doesn't like due to the commentary that they actually deployed on this video, and he doesn't like their political perspective, and that's literally the reason why he was, you know, launching this suit against them, as opposed to XQC and Asmongold and numerous other people that actually watched the content nuke themselves and didn't offer like anything extravagant as far as reactions goes in comparison to like Morgan or Denims or even Caseytron. And Caseytron was the only person that was able to, I guess, fundraise enough to be able to continue this lawsuit, and instead of like, you know, getting a default judgment or potentially you know, conceding like Caseytron did. And Denims, I'm glad she pursued it because of that pursuit, we found out that Ethan's own legal claims that his lawyer made were used against him in the default judgment. In the default judgment that came out. Sorry, he meant Denims, not Casey. It's all right. Oh, sorry. Yes, I'm talking about. There's 3 instances of frivolous copyright claims, right? Morgan, who did not pursue it. Caseytron, who settled and did that ISIS-style hostage video that everybody fucking celebrated. That was forced upon her as a condition for the settlement, including financial damages. And then Denims, who actually pursued the lawsuit. And when in Denims' lawsuit, we're talking about the DMCA ones now. In Denims' lawsuit, the argument that his legal team actually pursued, unironically, was used in the default judgment against the legal team, because they had said, oh, they didn't actually, they admitted to transforming the video, but not in a way that Ethan Klein wanted the video to be transformed. That in and of itself killed the DMCA argument. They basically admitted that, right? When you admit that there was a transformation that took place, you just didn't like the transformation, you can't pursue a legal claim that no such transformation had taken place. So it's not the reason why I'm pointing to this is because it's not a sincere DMCA request, and he has no case and no standing. And that's not my opinion. That was my opinion initially, and I talked about it, but that's also now the, you know, luckily for all of us who do enjoy fair use, which Ethan initially had fought for and won and created the precedent of, the judge also used the existing precedent that Ethan had fought for to destroy the argument that he was presenting. And it's interesting, like I even tweeted about this, it's like a lot of large content creators would have been hurt, and small content creators as well. Basically every content creator would have been hurt if Ethan was able to successfully destroy his own fair use precedent while he pursued this lawsuit. Which is why I always found it strange that more people were not talking about it. Especially when a lot of commentary folks did talk about it initially, but as an open and shut case that would destroy the financial status of Denims, and celebrated when it did destroy the financial status of Caseytron, and were celebrating when they hoped that it would destroy Morgan as well.
Win for Ethan, but I just don't think that's a win overall. Like, for as long as I've been on the internet, that kind of behavior has been frowned upon. And I really think if the targets were different, if it wasn't streamers that a lot of people don't like, the response would be very different to these lawsuits. Right now, a lot of people celebrate them because they just hate the people that Ethan is suing. So they go yeehaw for it. But these individuals, like the streamers in particular for the fair use, they are a fraction of the size of Ethan. So it's to me, a hard case to make that he was genuinely like losing eyeballs because of them streaming it on their Twitch channel. And yeah, that is like a big asshole thing for them to do, but let's be real, it's not hurting you, it's just you don't like them and they don't like you. So this was a way of being able to get a big jab in there, and since a lot of the internet doesn't like them, they get to rally behind you as well, as opposed to start asking the question, why even bother? You already won, again, against that kind of behavior. The internet, from what I can tell, this is kind of post-mortem now since I'm super late to it, but from what I can tell, no one was really on the side of the streamers that were just blatantly streaming it without any kind of transformation or anything like that. So you already won. What's the point in continuing this further, paying big bucks to the lawyer just so you could also financially hurt them to further, get them? It seems like it's less about, fighting a just cause for fair use and more about like, here's some more ammunition. The big one that I spent the most time looking into is the idubbbz case, because it's the most recent and is being touted as a tentative loss for Ethan, which I don't know what a tentative loss really means, because it's not an official loss, it's still an ongoing lawsuit here. But the judge had like a very seemingly stern view on it, that even cited Ethan Klein's previous fair use victory against him in his suit against idubbbz. Ethan Klein, a while back, had a landmark achievement in the fight for fair use against good old bold guy Matt Haas, and that ruling was cited here against him in this fair use lawsuit. So to me, that illustrates that maybe these lawsuits aren't coming from a genuine place of trying to enforce real fair use and are potentially just coming from a place of revenge. Now, I don't know the intricacies of everyone.
I don't know why he always like qualifies it. It 100% that is the case. Like, this is what I mean. You don't have to qualify it this hard. I mean, look, it's your show, and I'm not implying anything, but it's just like, it is confusing to me why there is this layer of qualification every time where it's like, well, I kind of feels to me like Ethan Klein is maybe engaging in an act of revenge, petty vengeance. Yeah, I mean, you're right, he is. That is what he's doing. And it's not a real lawsuit. There was no real harm done, and it's very obvious. And not only that, but Ethan has also like gotten away with it, as you also correctly called out, because nobody wants to defend the people that he was seeking to punish. There are not a lot of allies, not for the rest of the normies or anything like that, but there are not a lot of allies in the commentary sphere for female content creators in particular. Let's be real, okay? And some of these female content creators are also very outspoken, so that's 2 strikes. And they were outspoken on an issue that is considered a no-touch issue like Israel, so that's 3 strikes and you're out. This was a wonderful opportunity to punish like internet-designed enemies, and that's literally why, and it's part of the reason why Ethan did it. Ethan chose those targets deliberately, right? And that's literally the reason why nobody fucking gave a shit. But it's clear that the idubbbz, what I'm actually confused by is like why the idubbbz one, it was the turning point. Is it because idubbbz is like a very known, very famous content creator? Because like he's been doing this nonstop. Like, I wonder why they consider this to be a bridge too far. Because this is when I'm seeing like a lot of people finally pull out and pull their heads out of their asses and go, I fucking hate idubbbz, he's a cuck, whatever the fuck they say, but also still this is like messed up. Or maybe it's because it's so ridiculous. Like idubbbz pointing to someone else's defamatory statement and being like, this is defamation, Ethan Klein should pursue this legally, and then complaining about it when openly admitting that he doesn't agree with it. I mean, there's like, I saw someone reacting to my favorite slop Pegasus, more Pegaslop, literally doing that with Destiny, defaming me, and he was actually in agreement with Destiny's statement, and he has since then advanced that defamation. Now imagine if I sued Pegaslop for defamation, for not only posting the Destiny tweet defaming me, but also on top of that sued Pegaslop for agreeing with it. What would the reaction be then? And nobody perked up with Noah because Ian's got OG YouTube status? Maybe that's what it is? Serious question. Does Destiny have something on Ethan because he's acting like Trump towards Israel, lol? I mean, he has created an allegiance with Destiny and Dan Saltman for the last 3 years, as they have been a vehicle of harassment for Ethan Klein's ordained enemies. His community also manipulates Ethan and leans into his paranoia. So I guess that's kind of what it is. And also Dan Saltman is a sponsor of Ethan Klein's podcast, one of the last remaining sponsors that he actually has. So perhaps that might be a part of the problem. I think the very same attitude in the sphere against me is also the very same negative attitude against me in the commentary sphere is also the very same reason why there is this kind of allegiance between Destiny and Ethan, regardless of their back and forth slander operate. Well, maybe Ethan wasn't really slandering Destiny, but you know what I mean. I think that's that is the same attitude. You know, they are united in their hatred of what I represent. They also love Israel together, so that's cool for them, I guess. Yeah, I sincerely, you know what really fucking grinds my gears about this whole situation? Everything Ethan Klein is claiming others are doing to him, he has done to myself and numerous others. And I do actually have a real legal case against both Ethan and also all these fucking orbiters that have been pursuing this ridiculous outrage manufacturing. Like I have an actual fucking defamation suit that I could advance against numerous content creators. Part of the reason why I don't do that is because I have my own principles on this stuff. The other is because I think it's just like stupid. Who gives a shit? But I know for a fact, like I've thought about doing it just to see how the very same people who were actively supporting Ethan would react. And even the joking threat that I issued against more Pegaslop, everybody that was in favor of Ethan doing this, then quickly turned around and were like, oh, Hasan can't take any criticism, he can't take any accountability. They were saying it was defamation when it was Ethan, but now with me, all of a sudden they're like, well, we agree with Ethan, we don't agree with you. Turns out everyone is biased, and there is no consistent principle being held here. Ironically enough, I'm the only fucking person who is I'm the only person who's ironically consistent here with my principles. But yeah.
That's being sued in their relationship to
we're
Ethan
here.
and the snark community. Yeah. I don't know. I don't